Consent. Consent. We talking about consent. Hey, you can have it if you don't ask for it. You can have it if I don't tell you. You can grab it. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's your favorite little mermaid, Tammy Tsunami. But today is just Tammy because we're gonna get serious. Who am I kidding? I can't even be serious like on my best day. But regardless of whether or not I'm gonna be goofy or not, this is a serious topic, and I just want y'all guys to excuse my little higgy haga personality because I do laugh and joke about everything. But this topic is very serious, and I just wanted to give you guys that disclaimer. This topic that we're talking about is also, let me just give you guys a trigger warning, okay? Just want that out there. You could be triggered. But yeah, in today's video, we're going to be talking about taboos and things we're not supposed to really be talking about. I would like to introduce this segment in which we are going to be breaking down barriers. Alrighty, so in today's video, we're going to start by starting with I'm going to play a video for you guys, a little 2-minute video clip talking about a Nigerian celebrity's story in which she decides to come out about 12 years later or however many years later have passed. This woman finally decides to come out. But I'm just going to start off by showing you guys the video so I don't have to talk too much and you guys can get the picture, okay? Let's go.
You were under the age of 18, a student. You just left secondary school.
Yes.
And you hadn't yet gotten into the university.
Yes.
You say something happened to you. Yeah? Something very painful, you know, beyond painful. Can you tell us what that is? Tell me what that is.
It's I have to say, like, this is the first time I'm going to be coming out like public to discuss this with someone.
Yeah.
It's only my family members and definitely my husband that knows about it.
Take your time.
I was still in secondary school and I came home. Meanwhile, then I was staying in Ilorin with my parents. So I returned home for a particular holiday, and then my sisters, they all told me, oh, they are now going to a particular, like a club, you know, but it's not a church. Right. It's a club. They were doing their services on Saturday. It was more like a gathering of young people to just come and dance, praise God, and listen to the word of God. That was how they explained to me. And the kind of person I was then, I was this kind of person. I was the vice president of the fellowship in school. I believed in tying hair to church, you know. I didn't really want anything hip-hop, you know, jumping, that kind of gathering. So immediately my sisters told me that that's the kind of gathering. You meet a lot of people. You meet prostitutes that have given their lives to Christ. You meet cultists that have given their lives to Christ. I was like, isn't it not scary to be in the midst of all these people that I don't think I want to go. They're just like, Busola, just come. I reluctantly went, and I saw the different people that were there. It was clear I was the youngest. So I was always pinching my sister because the way they were dancing, I felt, no, this is not it now. This looks like a club, you know. But then it was like, this is like a new way of reaching out to people to know God. So I was there. They said time for first timer to stand up. I stood up and I introduced myself. My name is Busola Mokpiton, secondary school. Then I now shifted in that I explained my journey there, that I didn't want to come here. I thought people would be like on serious set of people. You know, how can people be praising God like this? But listening to the word of God, you know, seeing people talk, it's really amazing, and I'm so excited that I came here. I was really a bold child, like I could speak up in any gathering. So after the meeting, that was where Pastor Biodun preached, Biodun Fatoyinbo, he preached. After I finished preaching, he came to meet me after the service, after the meeting.
Is the General Overseer of the Commonwealth Zion Assembly?
Yes,
Koza.
yes, is the senior pastor there. But then it wasn't Koza.
Yes,
it was called Divine Delight Club.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't yet a church.
It wasn't yet a church. It was just like, and he wasn't married then, but
Right.
he was engaged to his
Right.
present wife.
Right.
So that's how he came to me, and he was like such a bold young lady. Like, I've never seen someone like this. You know, it was like, wow, you need to keep the fire. That, please, can you do something in the next meeting?
So you went to his house, you did this rehearsal.
Yes.
Then you did the thing the next meeting.
Yes,
Right,
I
right.
sang the next meeting.
It wasn't a Sunday, it was a
No,
weekday.
Saturday.
Right,
Saturday. It
right.
wasn't the Sunday service,
Right.
just Saturday gathering,
Right.
Saturday evening.
That's why you were singing, this person came to give his life to
Yes,
Christ.
yes. So after the program, he walked up to me and he said, "Wow, just keep the fire burning."
That's Biodun.
Yes,
Right.
that's Pastor Biodun.
Yeah.
He walked up to me and he said, "Keep the fire burning. That I'm going to give you books
Right.
and cassettes as you're going back to school. Just be focused. Don't listen to people. You know, things like that." And he gave me books. It wasn't on the spot there.
Right.
I don't remember whether he
By
sent
the time
it
you
down.
came back from school, it was
Yes,
already a church.
it was now already a church. So that's how I joined the church. When I joined the church, I joined the choir, and I wasn't talking to anybody. I would just do my own thing. My sisters were involved in self-fellowship. We would go for evangelism together, and
But you were still in your shell. You were still afraid of this world that it told you to be careful about.
yeah, and we were going through our own personal family issues.
Right.
Quite all right.
Did it have to do with the fact that it was a polygamous family, or what
Yeah.
were the issues?
Yeah, my father wasn't always around.
Right.
You know, and then right from secondary school, we're already facing financial issues. And while I was in secondary school, there were times I would go to school without provisions,
Right.
but nobody knew.
Right.
I was very good at coping with things, not discussing with people. You know, I just needed to let me study well, come out of school, enter university, and get a good job. You know, I really wanted to be there for my mom in particular, because I just felt she had gone through a lot. You know, things like that. This particular time in church, he came to meet me. That's Pastor Biodun, and then he said, "I noticed you're always all by yourself."
So you came to meet you in church, what?
Yes,
Okay, right.
like after a fellowship.
Right.
Like you're always all by yourself, things like that. Hope you're good, you know. So I said yes. So he said he was going to come to my house
Right.
the next day.
Right. Had you ever done that before?
No,
Right.
no.
So
Wait.
it was because he said he wanted to find out more about why you were quiet.
Yes, he
right.
just wanted to sort of know more about me, things like that, because we were always going to church. I guess people sensed something was wrong, like in terms of family. Maybe we didn't even have money, things like that, but we never opened up to anyone. We would just take care of our own business. There were days we would go to church, no food, but then we'll go back home and sort out issues, you know. So the next day, he came to my house in the morning, and then my mom was in the kitchen. So I told my mom that, my pastor is here. He came in, he greeted my mom, and then I told my mom that, my pastor says he's going to buy some things on Taiwo Road, that I should just accompany him, you know. So I remember that particular day, my mom was like, Sola, which one is this one now? She said it in Yoruba. I was not like, Mommy, it's my pastor now. I'm like, there's nothing, you know. So my mom said, okay, no problem. Greeted him. As in, my mom saw that, he left with me. So he was driving a white Mercedes-Benz here, like the old, I don't know the model, but old white Mercedes-Benz. And that was where we sort of started interacting. And he started talking, like, you don't say things, you're always quiet, what's wrong, you know. So he was talking, I want to be a spiritual father to you. So at that point, even though in my world, I'm always very mindful of people around me. Like when I was small, because when I was like 10, one of my dad's drivers just looked at me one way. I slapped the man. Like, why are you looking at me like that,
Right.
you know? So immediately I was about to just put up a guard, you know, but then he was just able to like just break it. I just want to be like the father, somebody you can always interact with. And then really, I didn't have like a good relationship with my dad.
He was always traveling, you say. He was
Yes,
not always at home.
yes,
Yeah.
at home. And then my sisters were all busy running their own lives, and I had my fears of all this thing of you're about to enter university. Or there's a whole lot for you to know about this new environment. It really I felt stifled in a way, you know, and I was a bit glad, like, oh, I have someone to interact with. So it wasn't that particular conversation that made me to open up to him, but it was more like within me, I just felt relaxed, like, okay. You know, he just talked and he went to buy what he wanted to buy. He dropped me back home. Then after some days again, he came to my house that, okay, he was going, because the church was about to move from that particular location to another location that is like Wonderland, that's where they call it. So we would go to that site to go and see. So he took me that particular day again to go and see that place. We just talked that he's doing this. He just wants me to be talking to someone. And meanwhile, all these interactions, he asked me one time, do you have a boyfriend? I was like, no, I don't have a boyfriend. I'm a virgin, like nothing. And he was like, oh, that's really good. That just keep yourself, you know, don't listen to all these people, even all these church boys and church choir members. So it was good. It felt like good advice, definitely. So
Felt like somebody who was supporting you and who was
yeah,
helping, you know, listening to you.
and
helping
concerned about me
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
you know. So it sort of just, I became relaxed, like nothing, until a particular day, which was a Monday. I remember the previous day was a Sunday service, and because there was no telephone, no mobile phone.
So before GSM.
Yes, I didn't know, and it came to my house. Meanwhile, my house then was, the gates opened. The living room is where you just knock the door and someone will come downstairs and open the door. And this time my mom had traveled with my younger sister. It was just myself and one of my elder sister that was at home, and my house, like a duplex, was a duplex so big that if you're in a room upstairs down, you won't know what's going on downstairs, things like that. So I came down normally the way I come down, it was like 6:30 to 7. It was pretty early.
Right.
I was still in my nightwear. I was wearing a gown, my nightwear. And I heard the knock. Who is that? Pastor Biodo. I was first of all like, I couldn't say anything, like, what's
it
this
doing here
time?
so early?
But immediately I just opened the door. It just pushed me. He didn't say anything. He didn't utter any word. He just pushed me to one of the chairs in my living room, and I saw him like he was removing his belt. So I was like, what? He just said, keep quiet, do what I want you to do, and you'll be fine. So at this point, really, a whole lot was just going on in my head, because it was more like someone that I had put up here that I felt was really, really concerned about me. I had already felt him in the place of like a father that could speak to me, you know, guide me. He was there about to do something I did not believe. And then when I was just about to react, he just covered my mouth. And when he covered my mouth, I was just like, Usola, listen to me and you'll be fine. Just do what I want you to do. I didn't struggle. I just left him, and he brought out his pennies, and I was wearing a nightgown. I was wearing pants, pulled down my pants, and that was how he found difficulty to enter, but he just kept, I was like grunting, I would cry, I was just doing a whole lot of mixed feelings and all that, and he eventually penetrated, even blood dropped on the floor. And at that point, he he finished what he wanted to do. He had an orgasm and he zipped up. He left me there. I just sat on the floor and he went out. So when he went out, sorry, just hold on a minute.
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
Because the thing, this particular time, as it looks like something that just happened, like an event, but a whole lot are damaged within me. As in, I don't even know how to define it. A whole lot. He entered his car. All I saw was he came back and he brought Crest.
What is Crest? Toothpaste?
No, a drink then.
Mouthwash?
No, a drink.
Like a soft drink?
Yeah, like a soft drink.
Right.
It was Crest. It had green content.
Right. I do remember. I think I remember Crest.
Yeah,
yes.
so it was already opened.
Right.
He had opened it and he just poured it in my mouth.
Why? I mean,
I don't know. So he poured it in my mouth and I had to just be swallowing it as he was pouring, swallowing it. And he finished and he was now tapping me like, you should be happy I'm the one that did this to you.
Okay.
So, and then he left. He said, I'll see you. He left. But I should be happy. That is the one that did it to you. There is a man of God that did this to me.
You should be happy that the man of God
Disvirgined me, sort of.
So now that we've watched that video together, real quick, feel free to pause this video and go ahead and just leave your thoughts down below. Like I said, this is super interactive, so feel free to pause the video at any moment to just share what your opinion and whatever timestamp we're on, so I can know what y'all are thinking this whole ride through, okay? So, initially speaking, okay, so that person you guys just saw, her name is Bukola Dakola. I'm not too familiar with her. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I really do not want to misspeak. She is
what's that word Instagram calls people? And yeah, if you want to be famous.
And you don't really know what public figure. There we go. So she's a public figure. I do know that her husband is a singer. That I do know. But Bukola Dakola is a public figure and many other things. I'm not taking away from who she is. I'm just not as, in the know of who she is as a person. However, I am aware of her story as a child when she was raped by her pastor in Nigeria, in her own home. Jesus Christ. Like, where do we even begin, you guys? Like, where do we begin, okay? Where do we begin on this topic? Because the rape culture in Nigeria is too much. Like, rape is almost normalized. Not almost. Rape is normalized based on the way that people are reacting to this video. Like, I'm just going to now just put, I'm just going to show you guys a bunch of people's reactions so y'all know I'm not tripping right now. This is literally what some people had to say.
You're an idiot.
I'm sorry, who gave this one permission to speak on this subject?
Shut your fucking mouth!
Like, I get so passionate about the subject, y'all. It makes me hot, okay? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What took her so long to come out? And what do you... Y'all, pause this and just go get yourself some tea or something or a Xanax or something to calm you down so that I can calm down, because I'm getting clearly too riled up to talk, okay? Because I just want to discuss how the rape culture is actually really normalized in Nigeria. Based on the way that people are reacting to this video, based on the way that some people are questioning the victim and wondering if she's she has an ulterior motive for this. Please, what could she possibly get out of saying that she was raped? What could she possibly get by coming out now as an established woman in her respective career field? What will she get out of by coming out and saying that she was a rape victim, especially by a very powerful man back home in Nigeria? Okay, so now let's stop this video because I did get a bit ahead of myself. I didn't tell you guys anything about the pastor himself. So apparently his name is Abiodun something, and he is supposed to be a very big pastor from a very big church in Nigeria. So a very powerful man, apparently. And if you know anything about Nigeria, the way that things are in Nigeria and their religion, there's almost literally no separation from church and state. Like, none. And when I say church, I'm not even just talking about just Christian church. It could be Muslim church, whatever the point may be. But the way that it is, what's Muslim church, please? Like, let's just stop there. What is Muslim church? Tell me, what are you talking about? Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that Nigerian, not we, because I'm not there anymore. I'm Nigerian, but I'm not part of these people, okay? Some Nigerians, there we go. Way to be inclusive. Some Nigerians put their pastors and their religious leaders at such high pedestals. Like, they treat them like they're like royalty almost. Like, people will be coming and buying cars for their pastors. I'm kind of inexperienced because, as you guys do know, I have been in America for about 13 years of my life. So I have been away from Nigeria for quite some time, but I do keep up via social media and I do keep up via my friends. And that is why I know this sad story in which we're talking about today. And this video isn't about Bukola Dakola and her situation, but it's more about the disgusting reactions that were received towards what she said. You know, I just want us to talk about this. I just want us to start a discussion. I want people to be held responsible. I want people to be held accountable. I just want to begin a culture of accountability. That's all I'm trying to say. I want us to get to a place in which we say enough is enough, because it sucks that this story, as horrific as it seems, she is not the only one. And I know you guys can say that in other countries that, yes, there are rape victims everywhere, but it is very sad that this number is not accurate because I did not do a real poll, but I remember going around and asking a lot of my friends if they had experienced sexual assault of some sort while living at home in Nigeria. And I was so disgustingly surprised that it was almost above, like, a good 8 out of 10 of them. Okay, so a good 80% of them. And like I said, this is not a accurate poll, obviously, but the point I'm trying to make here is that not just I alone, but everybody around me, we seem to all know a rape victim who didn't really get much justice. And that kind of sucks. But in Nigeria, like, if a girl says she's raped, the first question that they're gonna ask her is, what did you do to warrant the rape? Or what were you wearing? Or how were you looking at him? What did you say to him? Did you invite him to your house? You guys, what can a person wear? What can I wear that would say, rip me, I want to be ripped today? Like, I don't get it. Why that would be somebody's first response, I don't get. But like you guys saw, those were responses to that video. I'm not saying that what I want is for us to crucify the pastor or whatever the case may be. I really could. It's not about just this pastor. It is this pastor, and he did do something wrong, but there's more to it than just this pastor. And I just would like for us to create a culture or a society in which we get people talking, where I want us to have these discussions, as uncomfortable as they may be, as taboo as you guys may think it is. I want us to discuss this. I want to talk about this and talk about this and talk about this until people know that before somebody is about to go and, take somebody's body for themselves, I want them to be able to think twice of it. I know that sounds stupid to some of you guys, like that's common sense, that, you need consent to enter somebody's body, but it sucks that when situations like this happen and you see people in power, like that guy who has that his sapphire sense or whatever it's called, that guy in Nigeria, there's some guy who has a company line and he's supposed to be somebody with a lot of influence, and he had such a dumb response to the situation. You guys, people who use their platforms to do bullshittery, you suck. Like, people who use their platform to say rubbish, like, you have 40 to 60 to 100 to 200,000 followers or whatever the case may be. These people are looking at you. And for you to hear a person say that she was a victim of rape and your response is, what did she do? Or let's think about the situation. Like, this man, you guys, let's just go over this particular man's response in general. He's not the only person who said stupid rubbish, but he gonna be my scapegoat today, okay? Mr. Sapphire Sense, you're my scapegoat today, okay? Yep, I will not do any promo for you again. This is it. This is it. When I'm blown in the future, I will remember this day. I remember that you have a mouthful of boo-boo. You have a shit in your mouth. No, but seriously though, we're gonna use him as a scapegoat. You played yourself. So let's look at what he said here. He opened his mouth to say that, does this look or sound realistic to you guys? He questioned what Bukola Dakola was saying based on the fact that his answer was no Nollywood, which is like the Nigerian Hollywood, our movie entertainment industry. This man said, no Nollywood producer will accept such a B-rated plot. Are you a Maddite? Are you a fool? Like, kini correct or something like that or something. Because let me speak your language, because I can tell you Yoruba because you play. That's a story for another day. But kini problem? Oriye okay, Oriye oda, and something like that. Instead, proper Yoruba insults down below, because that doesn't even make sense to me. Why, as a grown-ass man, you're here trying to make excuses for another grown-ass man who can't go and sleep with people his own age. I don't understand. I don't get it. And then you have the balls to go and delete your rubbish posts. No, you should have left it there now. You think what you said was correct now? You should have left it there now, guy. Why did you delete it? I don't understand. Oh, dare. He's just one of the many fools who wanted to rush to protect this idea of the church and of the pastor or whoever this person is, as opposed to the victim who has suffered for many years with this thing. This man went on to say, why did she keep the secret for so long? Uncle, has somebody penetrated your asshole without asking you permission before? I'm just wondering. Because maybe if they had, maybe you'll be able to relate to the idea that not everybody's built the same, and that could have really changed everything about this woman's life and made her scared and made her feel like she can't come out. I don't understand. I don't get it. Have you been sexually assaulted before? I'll wait. Because only another person who's been sexually assaulted, in my opinion, can question why another victim took so long to come out about her story. Oga, you are not her. Oga means sir, okay? You're not her. You have no clue what this situation could have done to this woman. A young woman caught in the most impressionable times of her life. I believe that she said she was like 17 or so. Correct me if I'm wrong. This guy said, what was there? Like, he really said, didn't you guys stop to think about, what she must have been doing to him during choir practice? Oh, God, your foolishness has taken on that new lights. For you to really justify, or not even justify, for you to try to destroy somebody's story, somebody's hurt and somebody's own pain, for you to even tell somebody that their version of truth is incorrect because you think that they're clout chasing. So what happens if they were telling the truth all along? Now you just look like a mumu with their foot in their mouths. Like, what are you doing, my guy? What are you doing? And not just him, but anybody else who can question rape. And then somebody else came out and said that she does believe that this could have really happened because once when she was in her youth, this same pastor, I believe this woman's a doctor now. I'm not familiar with her name. All I remember is Dr. something, something, something. I'll put it here if I can find it. If not, I'm just showing you nothing. But this lady came out and said that he had made an attempt at her when she was in her youth as well. On some hashtag me too, okay? People going about the way that they did with Bukola coming out and telling her story, it's quite fucked because not only does it make that victim, not only does it reinforce all of the negative feelings she had already felt prior to this, not only does it make her feel less and worse, and not only does it enforce such insecurities in a person and such fears and all those types of things, it also encourages this type of sexual harassment behavior. It adds to this aura of conformity in which Nigeria has. It adds to this thick air of don't speak about the taboo. Because what that does is it makes, you don't know which little boy could have been following you and is now watching your response to what Bukola said and, you know, talking about how she needs to be able to prove that this happens to her and how she needs to be able to do it in a certain timeline and all these different restrictions to why she needs to be able to prove that her rape actually happened to her. Like, you sat here and this man sat here and deconstructed what Bukola said in that video that we all watched together. If a young boy is watching a grown man deconstruct a rape victim's story just to prove her false, what do you think is going on in that young man's head? I'm just asking. Because what I think is that somebody who is already twisted is just literally waiting to see this type of shit and be like, yeah. And then they're looking at their house girl or their little cousin or whoever it may be that's around them. They're looking at them like, I'm going to rip you tonight. And I'm going to get away with it. Literally, that's all I can think of happening. Like, that's all I see happening from people who, anytime somebody comes out and says that they're raped, I'm not saying that, you know, everybody who reports rape is actually, you know, a victim. However, nobody is allowed to tell her that she's lying, except for the person that's probably accused. But even in that story for another day, like, I don't even want to get into that. All I'm just trying to say here is, like, anybody who is expecting a rape victim to come and prove why she was raped or come up with evidence, like, here's the come dress on my body or whatever, like, you guys are just part of the problem, and you guys are just as bad because you guys are the ones who are making such a comfortable environment for these people to continue to perpetrate rape. You are making it comfortable for these people to go ahead and do their rubbish. Because I can't imagine somebody who is already having thoughts of rape seeing this type of shit and not feeling enticed to rape some more or to go out and complete that rape that they were thinking about in their head. Because what you guys are doing is you're making it seem like it's okay to rape. That is what it comes off to me. And I feel like the culture in Nigeria is so okay with this. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, people will come out and say, oh, I'm sorry this happened to her, but what was she wearing? Nigga! Oh! Like, what? What? How can somebody warrant rape? Even if I was wearing my pint and my bra, it's not for you. Like, even if it is for you, you can't touch me. Bro, like, this shit vexes me. Like, I'm gonna get mad. Like, I'm actually gonna get mad. Like, you can't touch people without somebody says, take me. Like, that's all, okay? That's all. You can't touch somebody if they did not ask you to touch them. Like, consent. We should, at this day and age, we should not be, I should still not be trying to help you guys understand what consent is. Like, at this day and age, really, like, you guys should know what consent is. And you guys should all know, even if you don't understand the meaning of the word consent, okay? Consent means to allow somebody to do whatever it is that they want to do. Consent is you give them permission, okay? Like, I can't imagine why somebody would think it's okay to put their body parts inside another person's body parts and the person is telling them no. Or the person is grunting or groaning or is looking uncomfortable. I don't get it. How can you rape a person that is crying? Or not crying? Even if she's not crying. How does one rape? Please, I'm gonna need some of you men with some of your weird ass responses to come down here and tell me how one rapes or how one is able to complete rape. Because till this day, I don't get it. How you can be taking. That's what you're doing. You're taking. How you can be taking and the person is not enjoying themselves, but you're still going. You're still going. You are there enjoying yourself. I don't get it. You have to be a sick person in your brain. That's the only thing I'm saying. And I'm a therapist, okay? So I'm not judging you, okay? As a therapist, I can treat you. Come, sicko. I'll help you. We have a place for you here in America. It's called asylum. Because that's where you people belong, okay? Like I said, okay? I'm not saying that this man is beyond forgiveness. I'm not saying that this man deserves to be crucified. Like, I'm going to leave my jokes aside. What I'm saying here is, if you have a problem, come out and say you have a problem so we can do something about it. Because taking sex or having sex with somebody who does not want to have sex with you is not okay. And also the people who go ahead and normalize this behavior, or people who say rubbish like, what did they do to warrant this? Or what did they do to end up there? You guys are just as bad, and you guys are just a part of the problem. Like, people who rape wouldn't rape if they didn't feel like they could get away with it. People who rape wouldn't rape if they didn't feel like there's a way that they can get away with it. Like, you get me? I don't know if I'm making sense to you guys. What I'm just trying to make here is, let's stop making it a normal thing. Like, let's stop making excuses. Let's stop trying to defend or protect these people, whoever they may be. Like, let's hold these people accountable. That is all I'm saying. I'm not saying crucify. First of all, none of us are better than the other. Like, we all sin differently. I mean, my own sin is I'm not touching little girls, but I'm just saying, let's just hold each other accountable, okay? Like, seriously, it's not that hard. Gosh. So I have come guns blazing, or maybe not blazing, but my gun's on fire, okay? I've come and I have cussed out and I have clowned and I have roasted, but I would like to leave you guys with, some action to go with, because it's one thing to just talk, but it's another to actually do stuff and make steps towards change. So what I would like from us to do from now on is, there's layers to this, okay? Step one, like I said, was make sure we're holding everybody and anybody accountable. If you see some stuff that you are not happy about, if you see anything, and this goes beyond the parameters of rape, if you see things that are being done and that is an injustice to society, I want us to whip out this hashtag the revolution begins with a Z, because Generation Z in this B, we are the future. We are everything and more. You guys, our generation, we have the ability to be the change we want to see in the world. And I just would like to prompt you guys to start with this movement. If you guys see anything that is just not supposed to be happening, or it's just not supposed to be done, I want you to capture words. I want you to share that with your followers and everybody else around you. I want us to be holding people accountable, because by the time I finish with this country, you people will know, you have sense. People will have sense, because think about it, right? We're so small. I know our following is small, but if you see this video and you feel strongly about what I've said, please share with the rest of your friends. Please share and urge them to use this hashtag to call out rubbish. We can be super strong together. We can be unstoppable force. We can imagine a world in where some shit gets done and somebody says something about it and another person says something about it, and then we all begin to say something about it. if all of us, with all of us in unity, it's going to be pretty damn hard to shut us up. And hopefully that can get some things done. So, like I said, feel free to become a keyboard warrior and use the hashtag The Revolution Begins with a Z, because you need to be the change you want to see in the world, okay? We all complain about Nigeria from now till tomorrow. We all complain about the conditions of everywhere we're in, literally, but we're not doing much about it. I think that if we all get together in unity, we can be unstoppable. Like, who gonna pop us? Not a goddamn person. Hashtag The Revolution Begins, okay? 2, another point of action that you guys can take from this is I want us to start raising our young boys from a young age that no means no, okay? I could probably sit down here and make a whole nother video talking about how Nigerians raise their boys up to think that they're kings and they could just go around taking whatever it is that they want, okay? In the sense that they could just take whatever they want. My young black men, you are kings, don't get me wrong. You are kings and you are born to rule the world. However, a woman's body, a fellow queen's body, it should be held to such high esteem in which you don't dare assume that her body belongs to you unless she's giving you the rights to come and give it to her. So if she not give you the right to give it to her, you cannot be giving her anything. Keep your dick to yourself, okay? Yes, so point number 2, let's raise our men from the young age. Let's beat it into their heads. Make sure that they know that consent is a thing and no means no. And you can't touch if she says don't touch, okay? Point number 3, like, be the best version of yourself, honestly speaking. Like, if you as a person, you're just out there and you're just doing nothing, you're kind of doing nothing. Does that make sense? I want us to shake the table. I want us to tell our seniors that we are tired, okay? That enough is enough. Too many of us, too many of our friends, too many people we know, too many people we don't know are rape victims. And I want you guys to say hashtag enough is enough. And I want you to spread this video as much as we can, especially this part, because this part is a call to serve. I want at least one representative from all of the major schools, all of the major unis, or even the minor ones. I just need at least one representative across multiple states and cities and providences and things of the nature. I want us to gang up, okay? Us, U-Z. I want us to find out as much information as we can. I want us to begin by educating our peers. I want us to make a move that can change the world. I want us to be where accountability begins. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you feel inspired to join the movement. You definitely do not have to be a Generation Z member to be a part of this movement. Us is deep, okay? You could be any age to be a member of us. All that matters is that we are utilizing our strengths and our platforms and our voices to make changes in the world. So you could be any age. You could be a millennial. You could be Generation Z, X, whatever the case may be. Whoever it is you are, okay? You could even be a baby boomer and be a member of us. I just want us to change the world, like I said. So thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. I love you guys so much. And I am excited to continue to use my platform to say something, okay? And as for that guy, the light-skinned guy that owns that company, like, I'm sorry you're my scapegoat for the video, but next time you won't say rubbish. Close your mouth next time. Because nobody even asked you to say what you said. Yeah. And nobody should come to me with all that respect your elders bullshit, because see you later. See you later.